Wake up. It's time to go. Wake up.
Welcome to NocBro.
Are we really about to make this prediction right now, guys?
We are.
Is it finally here?
It is.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
I'm Jarrell.
And I'm Josh.
And
we're mourning, or about to mourn, because today we have a prediction for The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 5. What comes after? And that prediction is...
our final prediction
Yeah.
that has Rick Grimes in it.
Yeah. And Rick Grimes is probably going to go.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
No, there is no prediction of a death because I am still going to predict that he will be taken off by Jadis's helicopter.
Yeah. We will get into that further, but
Yep.
wanted to make note really quick. I know I mentioned in the last video that there's going to be 2 videos on Saturday, but since this is our predictions and our final thoughts would be rolled into it, we're just going to do it all in this video. So this may be 20-25 minutes or so. We're just going to roll it into one because it is the final predictions with our favorite character, Rick Grimes. We're going to do our normal predictions of watching the next episode trailer, read the synopsis, get into it, and then get all into it.
Yeah. We're going to go through some breakdown photos.
Yep,
right?
we'll go through some breakdown photos as well, so we'll check that out.
All right,
so let's
do
watch it.
Rick Grimes' last episode, next Sunday night.
Off the rebar.
I'm looking for my family.
First person view.
It feels like it's ending.
It's not over. We don't die.
Oh, man.
We'll talk about that.
Rick Grimes' last episode,
Oh,
next
dude.
Sunday night on AMC.
You gotta be kidding me,
Did
guys.
he say, he said to Michonne, it feels like it's about to end.
He does. He says it feels like it's about to end, and that's where we kind of hear her say, we don't die.
We don't die, yeah.
We don't die.
I honestly think that as she said, before we go into breakdown, let's obviously give our predictions. Look, this is going to be an entire episode of a tribute to Rick Grimes.
Yep.
And they're going to do it in a really cool way. And that is, obviously, he makes it up off the rebar.
Yeah.
The whole way, his mission after getting back to the rebar is going to be getting back to that bridge. I don't know why, though, because wouldn't you think that you'd be bringing that herd with you?
He's good. It's interesting because, like, yeah, we have it in. So he's got one herd that was following him in his normal direction, another herd coming in from the other side. So he's gonna try to bring everything, even though Daryl's first reaction was take him to the bridge. It's gonna collapse. They're done. Rick didn't want to do that, but I think now Rick is probably like, okay, I'm dying here. I need to get back. Let's just take him to the bridge. Now, is that real? Is that hallucination? I think that part is real.
Yeah.
So there's going to be, as we know, there's going to be a lot of hallucinations that he's going to be seeing. Like we said in the previous video, there's going to be Herschel, Shane, Sasha. There's rumors of many other characters. We don't know if we'll see their faces, if we'll hear voiceovers of what he's, hearing in the background. But yeah, so it's going to be insane.
It is going to be
actually going to be insane.
And
I don't even know where to start right now.
I mean, it's going to be a very entertaining episode. Like, we're going to lose, everyone is going to lose their favorite character during this episode. Yeah. But I truly don't think that we're going to lose him in a way that we expect. I think they're going to leave it open-ended. But also, I think the way this episode is going to go it is just going to be so amazing to watch.
It is. So, really quick, before we forget, episode title, of course, what comes after? Synopsis: Rick is forced to face the past as he struggles to maintain the safety of the communities and protect the future he and Carl envisioned. This is what this episode is. It's, he's... I've seen some articles where people were trying to discredit that could rebar really pierce through you, and there's been studies that it can, but it can't. There's some studies that it isn't fatal, but I'm not getting into what people are trying to discredit.
Let me just say something real quick. A horse threw him off.
His body weight.
The force of that happening can certainly pierce you through a rebar.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm not here to argue.
We're not here to argue
whether it happened.
It happened.
Okay.
He's getting off the rebar. I've heard he's going to grab his belt and lift himself off somehow. So either way, once he comes off that thing, he's bleeding out.
Dude, it's like this long.
Exactly.
And to pull yourself off of that,
it's going to be tough. Unless he bends it somehow to where he can pull himself up and then push himself out. I don't know.
In the review of the episode, I said that it looked like he passed out from the pain.
He did. Yeah.
He ain't got much time to get up off that rebar.
No, you don't. Because who knows? Like, yeah, I mean,
now they'll
push him back.
They'll bring the herds back a little bit.
Yeah,
and they'll give dramatic scenes in there to make it look
a show.
like.
I mean, it's a show.
But anyway,
guys. So I will give my overall prediction right off the bat. If you want to go there,
sure.
We'll do it right off the bat. Rick Grimes will not die. They have been pushing this helicopter theory forever. You know, Rick saw the helicopter in season 1. I saw some information that and I've always wondered.
Mention it?
Yeah, I've always wondered why. So I off another YouTube channel, another user mentioned that, you know, remember when Morales introduced Rick to the group and called him Helicopter Boy? Why would he call him Helicopter Boy? Rick wasn't anywhere near a helicopter. Did Morales see a helicopter? He has no idea.
Yeah, but
he's a cop.
Yeah,
but not saying that could be tied to it. But we've seen the helicopter.
I don't think it's tied to it. I think it's just a nice little Easter egg.
It's a nice little Easter egg, and you know, we've seen this helicopter so much that, you know, there's also a sneak peek of Rick where he's standing in front of himself in the hospital in this hallucination in season 1, Rick, where he's looking outside and we see the crows and they all turn into helicopters flying at him. It's like they're showing up this helicopter so much that it's going to happen, guys. Rick is an A. Jadis is looking for an out for an A.
Yeah.
Somehow she's going to see him, find him. You know, I know Rick makes it back to the group, but she's going to she didn't kill Negan. She was going to give Negan to the crew. Didn't kill him. Going to do Father Gabriel. Let him go. She is going to do the last sane thing she can to show how good she is.
But do you
She's
think
going
that,
to have Rick
do you
saved.
think that works not in her favor? So the people that have...
She has an agenda. She wants to get out.
The people that she's been talking to on that walkie have also been kind of threatening towards her.
Mm-hmm.
In a way that where they say if she doesn't deliver an A, she's going to have consequences. So I'm wondering if I could see a scene where Jadis chooses to give Rick away. They see what condition he's in and they cap Jadis.
Cool.
Yeah.
That would suck.
And here's why I think that. If Rick goes in the helicopter, Michonne is always going to be there wondering what's going on with Rick.
Yeah.
And who knows that? Jadis.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have that conflict and keep that from the viewers.
Right.
Like, so there's got to be a way that Jadis just doesn't make it.
I can see that. I can honestly see that. I think that could be like her sacrifice, basically.
Yeah.
I know she wants to get out badly, but she understands what Rick kind of did for her. I mean, they were enemies, yes, but Rick, you know, allowed her to come to the community. She did these things. She's probably having Father Gabriel in the back of her mind as well, that she'll do everything she can to save Rick, and unfortunately, she may go. I can actually see that. That kind of fits. So these shots from the trailer are absolutely amazing. You know, we see Rick bleeding out. He gets back on the horse. He's leading the walkers away.
So this right here is directly
Right after
we're,
he gets
we're looking
off.
at this, but yeah, that's directly after he pulls himself off.
And they're combined. Look at the converging, dude. Absolutely converging. So I mentioned in the previous video how it was interesting how Rick, you know, almost died twice from a horse. He fell off his horse in season 1 by getting surrounded by walkers, and Glenn saved his life. So, yeah, these walkers are
look
crazy.
Look at the mass of her. Go back to
Yeah.
look at that, man. That is
a
massive.
Yeah, the shot of him leading them to Atlanta, which I believe that is a dream, that is a hallucination. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
But the shot of him, you know, talking to himself in the hospital, telling himself, "Wake up, wake up, wake up."
I think
cool.
that is post being impaled, and he passes out. Like I said at the end of the episode, he passes out.
Yeah,
I think we open with this, or possibly
I think that is
close to the open.
I think that's
the episode.
I think him in the hospital. I think that's going to be the opening.
Wouldn't
as
that
he's
be
passed
amazing?
out.
Because I think we opened the series like that. Well, no, we opened with the car crash scene.
The car crash, yeah. So we saw we did see the shots of him, you know, walking towards the door that says, you know, "Don't enter."
That's
Dead.
awesome, dude.
It's so sick. It's so sick. Like, you know, and we do see the couple scenes with Shane where he's there's no walkers behind him, but you see like the medical helicopter in the background. He's walking towards the car.
A helicopter?
Oh, a helicopter again
in the scene,
in the dream sequence
okay.
again. We see the shot of Shane and him sitting in the car where the overturned car was before he got shot,
with the hamburgers,
with the
and fries.
burgers still there. I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah,
there's going to be
there's
definitely going to be lines. And like I said in the previous previous video of Herschel, I cannot wait to hear that. The shot with him now. Do you think that's real? Him looking at Michonne like that?
I think it is.
You think it's real?
So we have seen a preview of of this episode 5, and that is Michonne and Maggie talking. Maggie makes it to Alexandria. Michonne is standing in her way right before going to Negan's cell and trying to kill him.
She's like, "Back the fuck up."
Yeah, and they're having an argument.
Yeah.
You know, and I think what happens here is Maggie's not going to get to kill Negan. That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
So something happens to get Maggie not to want to do that.
Radioed.
And that is a radio to Michonne saying, "Rick is mortally wounded. You need to get to the bridge now."
Yeah.
The bridge will collapse. The walkers will go. They're safe.
Right.
But Rick's dying. And I think Maggie and Rick make it, or Maggie and Michonne make it to Rick.
So yeah, it makes sense because we see Rick, you know, leading them over the bridge. And once Rick gets over on the bridge, he falls down because he's tired. The bridge collapses, and somehow maybe somebody radios, or he gets a radio and radios in. And that's when he's facing, you know, looking at the herd falling. And then that shot where we see him turn and everyone's running behind him, they're running towards him, you know,
and that makes
you know what I'm saying?
It makes so much sense
fits.
now, because Daryl, we've always asked, in the next synopsis it says that Carol goes to see an old friend in the woods, and we think that there's going to be another huge time skip, and that's going to be Daryl in the woods, because he is going to be so heartbroken that Rick's dream collapsed, and Rick was forced to collapse that because he knew the only way to get rid of this herd was to destroy the bridge. And Daryl's going to know that and feel so terrible about that.
Another scene we didn't see in the trailer that we saw in the I think the trailer for season 9 is that close-up shot of where the walker is right in Rick's face, and it looks like a dark area. I've heard rumors that maybe Rick, like a lot of people were thinking maybe Rick got, you know, the bridge collapsed and he got swept downstream and then wakes up in this, you know, alcove or area. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like in some like sewer area, and that's where that walker, because we didn't see that in this trailer. We don't know.
They might have just thrown that into the trailer
and cut it out.
Yeah, and cut it out.
So we see the birds. So we've gone through that. This shot right here.
This is amazing. This
comic book fans, you should be freaking out right now because you know what this is. Anyone else who's not a comic book fan will not know this.
This is the 100th issue variant Chromium
shot of Rick Grimes standing, in the comics, he's standing over bodies of his fellow people who have been lost.
Yeah.
in this one, in the wide shot, you see just massive amounts of bodies. In the close-up shot, that definitely looks like Jesus right in the background.
Carol is right below him.
Carol is below him. I'm not sure who's to the left. It could be, Cindy maybe. I don't know. I can't tell. It could be Cindy, but I don't know.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Maybe
either.
it could be Sasha. I have no idea.
Who's
but
that?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but the chromium issue was it was all chromed out, and it had kind of like a hard plastic cover over it.
Yeah.
They made a few of them actually, a black and white one. This one looks exactly like that.
The wide shot it's just so amazing, and you can tell, like, you see that he is, wrapped himself around his gut or whatever to hold that blood in as much as he can. But I'm not sure what this is symbolizing. Some of the people that he's lost, all the people that have died during this apocalypse, maybe all the walkers that he's killed. This is just the bodies of those people, kind of showing him this is just what this world is coming to, just massive amounts of bodies. It's so freaking gorgeous.
When I saw that in the trailer, it was something that was it
stuck out immediately for us.
When you're a comic book fan and such an iconic issue like that comes across to the main screen, to the big screen,
it stuck out immediately. Like, Josh messaged me, he's like, "Dude, issue 100." God, guys.
So, in talking about this, do you think we'll see the wound? And do you think that we'll get a description of it? Because he's going to get to the bridge. The bridge is going to collapse. Daryl and them are going to be running up to him. The first thing that Daryl and them are probably going to think is, okay, he's bit.
Probably. They're going to get Sadiq and maybe
and
Enid
so
quickly.
Is Rick going to be able to talk? Well, he does talk because he talks to Michonne.
Right.
Is he going to be able to say, rebar or something? Or is it just going to be assumed after they look at the wound?
I would think they'd be able to tell by looking at the wound, because they'll look at it and they'll see that it's gone through and through. It's not going to look like a normal, a bite. But still, it's going to freak them out though, seeing him bleeding like that. They're going to be like, holy shit, he's probably bit. But then when they look at him, Sadiq and Enid trying to close that up. I mean, it went through and through, but still, it's a lot of blood loss. It's a lot of internal damage and blood loss. And we haven't really seen a blood transfusion in the apocalypse. So,
if anyone can do it,
can you transfuse blood? Since everyone, you're alive and everyone has the disease.
If anyone can do it, it's people that are resourceeful.
How are they going to test
helicopters?
How are they going to test for
fuel?
Exactly. How are they going to test for see what blood type you are? Commonwealth, maybe.
Yeah.
So guys. Unfortunately, this episode is upon us. It is here. For Josh and I, we never ever thought that we would be getting to this point.
Never.
We figured that if it's the end of Rick Grimes, either it's the end of the series. They said, this is the last season. We're done.
And some people are obviously saying that's now. Like, the end of Rick Grimes is done.
Guys,
it's the end of the show. And honestly, no.
Do not believe the ratings that you're seeing. Yes, they've had low ratings, but you have to take into account the people who do not have cable TV or live cable TV. I have YouTube TV. I have YouTube TV. I watch it live, but I don't know. Those live numbers I don't think they're included in that. They're looking at real TV networks. There's people who DVR who watch it the next day. I do sometimes.
Regardless, it's still the number one cable TV show.
Exactly.
And it will remain that way, and because the volume of the fan base is just large.
And I know that a lot of some other fellow YouTubers that we subscribe to that are awesome subscribers for us that comment on everything. And I know that they don't want to see an open-ended story for Rick. They want to see him at least die to close it out. But for plans that AMC is wanting to do, if they want to do a movie or leave it open for Rick to return, this would be perfect. Yep. Jadis saves Rick. Rick goes away. The actor Andrew Lincoln wants to leave because he wants to spend time with his family. If AMC continues to do a great job and The Walking Dead continues, Andrew Lincoln's kids can get older. He can have more time and be like, they could already be talking about it.
Yeah.
Let's plan you coming back in 2 years and see if it's great.
Yeah.
Have him come back. Boom diggity, we're back in it again.
Boom diggity,
or do a movie. I don't know.
The only thing with that is if he were to come back, you can't have a Rick Grimes come back for like 2 episodes and that's it. Like,
no, he's in.
He would have to come back and stay, and I don't know if Andrew Lincoln would want to do that. It almost would have to be a movie type format.
Yeah,
but
depends on what his plans are. He probably doesn't know right now.
With that said, I have an awesome theory that would work with that. And in the comics, Michonne, the Commonwealth, we know the Commonwealth is a bigger community of about 50,000 people.
Supposedly.
In the comic book, they run into or they communicate with because Eugene is able to reach out to them via radio.
And I'll butt in here real quick. They're well organized, and this A-B kind of thing points to the Commonwealth because in the comics they see themselves as higher class, and they make people work at the jobs they used to do in their real life. So if you were a lawyer, you're top tier. If you were a janitor, then yeah, you're doing the low key crap and you're not living in good quarters. So the A and B thing kind of fits with the show.
Yeah. So in the comic book, Michonne actually reunites with her long lost child, Elodie, in the comics. In the comics, she has 2 daughters. In the movie, she has 2 sons. I think 2, right? Or 1.
It was interesting because we knew of 1, but when she was talking to Negan, she said sons.
Yeah.
So
and they're dead.
She pluraled it. Yeah,
they're
gone.
So with that storyline cut, she now has the opportunity, or at least Elodie, the comic book character, possibly can be replaced by Rick, who maybe makes it to the Commonwealth, is patched up, survives his wound, and Michonne reunites with him when they discover the Commonwealth. He's been there the whole time. Now, obviously, there's questions like, why wouldn't he just leave and go back to Alexandria?
Well, here's
who knows?
Exactly. Here's the thing. Because there's so much mystery around this helicopter crew, Jadis, gave a little bit of hint to it that this place is far away. We don't know how far, but just hearing the word far away, it's away, so much away to where, Jadis wants to get away from everything she's at right now, that it's farther away to where she feels that the way they're living is better. They may be safer away from walkers, hordes of walkers probably. But if we're to assume that they're far away, then Rick probably would have no idea where he is.
Or no means to get back.
And no means to get back. Or if he did try to get back, it would be a long trek, which would be a full season.
we just got Morgan that traveled freaking across the country.
To Texas in 5 days. No. By running.
So anyway, does that conclude our final thoughts?
I say my final thoughts. I like we've said before, I got into The Walking Dead comics late. I got into The Walking Dead show late. I've absolutely enjoyed The Walking Dead TV show. Andrew Lincoln has been the perfect Rick Grimes. I loved seeing his transformation from, similar to in the comics. I mean, he goes from, being very, a novice to the apocalypse, not knowing what the hell's going on, learning, going full badass mode, crazy Rick several times to then, trying to be a leader, then not wanting to really be a leader. It's followed the comic adaptation pretty well in certain aspects of his personality anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in the show. And, the scene that really gets me, and you've mentioned this too, is I loved how Andrew Lincoln did the scene when he killed Gareth. Where he is just his eyes are on him. He's following him every move. And I wonder if that was directed for him to do that, or he just did that.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's probably one of my favorite scenes, and if you have a chance, go back. It's on YouTube. Check it out. But
it's legit.
He is literally focused. It's almost as if Gareth has a single point of focus on his head or face, and Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln, follows that the whole time and never takes his eyes off of that. And
it's legit.
And I've said this before. The work that Andrew Lincoln has done on this character has just been amazing. I can't say anything better than that. I mean, I'm gonna miss Rick Grimes.
We are. I mean, it's gonna be an awesome episode, guys. Greg Nicotero is directing this, so did direct this, so it's gonna be legit. It's his final send off. Like in the previous video, I hope we get to see or hear Lori, Glenn, Carl, Morgan.
But, you know, I was thinking about that, and I hate to like go back into more material before we end. But,
yeah,
like,
we'll clean it up.
Are we gonna see Lori or hear Lori's voice when Michonne is kind of in the picture? I mean, do you think
it's a good point? But I would think so. Yes, I mean
maybe something quick.
Yes, he's with Michonne.
You know, Carl's definitely gonna be.
Yeah, yes, he's with Michonne. He loves Michonne, but you have to think of what his true purpose was in season 1 to get back to Carl and Lori.
Yeah.
So to hear something from Lori, yes, I think would be good. They'd probably keep it short because his true love now is Michonne. So yeah, I understand what you're saying, but
let's just get it over with, man.
Let's just get it done.
I cannot wait for Sunday. Honestly, I'm so excited for I'm more excited for this episode than I was for season 7 opening. Negan.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Exactly.
And
guys.
Negan's one of my favorite characters. So yeah, let's do it. Let's get it over with, guys. And let's have a therapy session Tuesday. Stay tuned for our review of the last episode of Rick Grimes.
Like I said, I will not be pouring this
out
for the
placement.
Homies. Oh, no, it's turned away. I will not be pouring this out for the homies. I will not be pouring this for Rick Grimes. I will be drinking it in celebration that Rick Grimes is going to survive because guess what? We believe in Rick Grimes.
Yes, we do.
So, guys, let us know your thoughts.
Say it to him as he's...
Oh! Maggie?
Yes!
Oh! So legit. Because, we don't know what's going to happen with Maggie. Like, we don't know where Maggie is.
We can't end this video because we keep talking.
I know. Because honestly, guys, if you guys don't know, really...
She's going to say it to him as he's dying. She's going to understand his way, and she's going to be like,
before he leaves?
He's not dying.
Before he leaves.
Yeah, whatever.
But honestly, guys, episode 6 supposedly has around a 5-year time jump. So we don't know if episode 6 is the last episode for Maggie or if it's this one. We really don't know. But either way, I would love to hear them have Maggie say, I believe in Rick Grimes.
Line, man.
So sick. Anyway, let us know your thoughts. We are done with this for now. I know this video's been long, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our final predictions video with Rick Grimes. Stay tuned for our review on Tuesday. It's going to be a doozy.
Yes.
It's going to be a doozy. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow us on NocBro Nation on Twitter and Facebook. And let us all prepare to...
breathe, ladies and gentlemen. Breathe.
Just do it, guys. All right. This is Josh. I'm Jarrell. We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.